Hi freedom seekers, this is Melissa Caragos with Liberate Yourself, your guide to freedom of the body, mind, and soul. And in this episode, I'm so excited to finally be able to explain it in my own words why we create our own reality without saying like stuff like quantum entanglement and there are parallel universes in the multiverse, but I'm just gonna explain it in a really rapid way. So it's also for you to integrate and explain, because I explained it to a friend this weekend and I was like, whoa, this is groundbreaking even for me. I finally understand, because when you can teach something to someone else, that means that you integrate what you learned and that you can actually teach it to someone else. So that's what I'm really excited about this one, because I'm just like, I would love to explain this to you guys, like honestly, like wow. So why do you create your own reality? What is reality? Even it's an illusion, but that's a topic for a different time. I want to start off with everything in reality is neutral. How like horrible it seems, like everything that's happening is neutral and we decide what kind of meaning that we give to it. It's really easy to look at it from this perspective, like Vicky, things that let's say like rain is beautiful and it's such a like a lovely climate to be in, and she looks at the rain, she's like, wow, I'm so happy that it's raining, and that's her creating the reality that it's nice for her when it rains. And then you have Tommy, and Tommy hates when it rains. He doesn't like it. He prefers the sun. It's like, he prefers the sun, so every time it rains it's a negative like outcome for him, because he looks at it outside, he's like, oh my god, it's raining, I don't like this, I'm gonna give it like a negative meaning. So that's the meaning that life gives from. You give life meaning. Life is neutral. Look at this, Vicky loves rain and Tommy hates rain. It's all the same thing, it's still rain. So you get to decide what you like and don't like about your life and what happens to you in life. There's not always that much that we can control what comes up to us, but we can always control how we respond to it. And this is going to be such a stinger, because I always felt like, oh, that's so not true, but it is. No one can hurt you. No one can hurt you unless you are accepting to be heard. If someone walks up to you and calls you a whore and you get triggered, that's on you. That's something that you've experienced and integrated in this life that makes you think that you are a whore, because why would you be triggered? If someone walks up to me right now and calls me a whore, I'll be like, okay, so I'm not gonna say like your mom or anything, because I don't think your mom's a whore. I don't think anyone is like a negative, like a whore is, it's a prostitute. I think whore is not the right word to call a prostitute. I think a whore is just like this curse word that we use, like slut. It's not empowerment or any kind of thing. No, it's, that's also the meaning that I give to the word. And that's so funny, because there are so many people that say like, whore, who you slut, oh boohoo, and they give that kind of meaning to life. So what I'm trying to explain right here, right now, is that everything in life is neutral. You give meaning to life. Everything that happens to you, you give meaning to it. If you give a positive meaning to it, then your life will look more positive, because then that's your belief. That's the thing that you believe about your life, that everything that happens to you is positive. Even though it might seem negative in the beginning, that you can give a positive outlook on it. I've been bullied from, I think, when I was 7 or even 6 is when I got glasses, and till I was 14 and I had my glow up. And let's talk later about my glow up, but I was bullied for such a long time, and I didn't have like the best like home situation as well, and there's stuff that happened, but I'm not gonna all explain all my stuff that happens to me, because it define me as a person. But I used to be like in such a victim mode, like, oh my god, this happened to me, this is who I am. And now I saw that I have learned through all that hardship that I am worthy no matter what. I am perfect no matter what. I decide what I think about myself, and not other people decide what they think of me. They don't. They don't get to decide, because I decide what I think about myself. Not you, not someone else, not my parents, not the government, no, no one. I decide that I'm worthy. I decide that I'm lovable. I decide that I am enough. And I don't need any kind of external validation from that, from anybody, because I decided that. And that's what I learned from the years of Like, I'm not like a little bit of bullying, but like actually like really hard bullying. Like when I was in high school, the whole almost my whole high school bullied me for my hair, and I ironed my hair, and it was all for me to learn self-acceptance the way that I am without getting the external validation. So that's why the years of bullying have a positive meaning for me now, because I am giving it that. I'm taking my power back. If you're always going to be in your victimhood, if you're always going to be like, yeah, I get to do this because I have experienced this, then that's always going to be your identity, and your identity creates your reality. So let's dip in a little further from this, because now when you notice that you can change the way that you look at life and look at the stuff that you're doing, now you can take a bit more conscious action. This is about being the conscious creator of your reality. It's so interesting. It's so really interesting, because think of a time that you decided to do something and it had such a positive outcome. Like you decided to take a later train, and you first thought like, oh, I missed my train, but then you took a later train, you found a friend, you went to a party together, it was amazing. Just like a little example. It's the same with everything in life. It has such a ripple effect, and that's the thing that's about the multiverse, about parallel universes. There are versions of you that did catch that train, that took even a later train, that didn't meet that friend. There are so many different parallel universes where we are in right now, and the kind of parallel universe that you decide that you're in is determined by your vibration, about the way that you're looking at life right now, the way that you're feeling about life right now. Are you in a loving, abundant vibration at the moment, or are you in fear? Are you in lack? Are you in separation because you think that life like happens to you? Life happens through you. Life happens through you. Honestly, think about it, that you get to decide where you're going in life. Always, you always have been deciding. I keep thinking about, it's really interesting because last year I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. We were together for 5 years. It was a really healthy relationship, and I keep thinking there is a Melissa in some alternate universe that didn't break up with him. Where is she? What is she doing? I'm not trying to think too much about it because I don't want to go there, but I keep thinking that it was such an empowerment and such a crossroad decision for me, because I turned out like such a different person. I got to step in more to my light, into my power, my purpose, exploring life, exploring freedom in such a beautiful way, that I keep thinking like, wow, imagine that I didn't do that. And there is a version of you that didn't do that. There's a version of you that's watching to this video, and there's a version of you that doesn't watch this video. There's a version of you that like has the seed planted from this video, and there's a version of you who's like, yeah, she's talking bullshit, okay, you know? So that's what I think is so interesting, because I even made multiple videos about this video, because I said something wrong, and I used different examples, and that's so interesting to think about. And it's so grounded as well, because everybody can like think about that, right? Like there are decisions that you made that were so life-changing. What if you didn't make the decisions? Those versions of you are still there. So let's talk now about the way that you perceive your reality also creates your reality. So your beliefs, your thoughts, everything. So I'm going to use 2 examples. I'm taking such a deep breath right now because I am just so full of energy trying to explain this to you guys, because I finally get it. I integrated this shit, and now I get to explain it to you in such a kind of way. I hope that you can also integrate it and be the creator of your own reality. I've heard it so many times, and I can finally be like, oh yeah, I am the creator of my own reality. I decide what I want to see. I decide what I want to experience. I decide what an experience is for me, because again, everything in life is neutral. So you have Tommy and you have Vicky. I don't know, I'm using another Tommy and Vicky example again. It's just, I think, common English names. So Tommy breaks his ankle. He works at this company he doesn't like, and Tommy's outlook on life is that everything happens for a reason. Everything that happens to him has a positive outcome, no matter what, no matter how dark the circumstances seem, it always has a positive outcome for Tommy. So Tommy breaks his ankle, and he's like, I broke my ankle. That probably means I have to take a rest. That probably means that I'm gonna do something different with my life right now. Because he already didn't enjoy the company he was working at, but he broke his ankle. So Tommy's sitting at home. He's not feeling in his victimhood. He's actually quite excited, like really curious, like, wow, what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen next? Because everything that happens to me happens for a positive reason. So you're always excited for your next moment. Even when something horrible happens, you're just like, you're gonna turn that around, like, how is this gonna have a positive outlook for me on my life? So Tommy's at home and he's in this good vibe energy and he sees this course in Spanish. So Tommy's like, I'm sitting at home, I cannot do not much with my physical body. Let's learn how to speak Spanish because that's something I've already like really, really wanted to do. And while he's speaking Spanish, he's in this online class. He gets to know this girl. They fall in love. And the girl is actually the teacher. So he falls in love with the teacher of the Spanish class. And he's moving to Mexico to go live with her and work with her on a resort, which he always wanted to do in his life. Tommy wouldn't have had this experience if he didn't look at the bad thing that happened in his life with such a positive outlook. Because he stayed high vibe, he stayed high vibrational, even though something fucked up it happened to him. He broke his ankle. Like, dude, the fuck? That's such a messed up thing. Like, my mobility is everything for me. I go to the gym, I eat well, I do my yoga, my meditations, everything because I really care about my physical like avatar. Like, I really want to be flexible, like mobile always. So I would have like kind of a hard time, maybe a harder time than Tommy. But because Tommy looked at such a positive way at this, he transformed a negative event into a positive one because there are no negative things, there are only like neutral stuff, and you get to decide if you want to make it positive or negative. Then we have Biggie. Biggie always thinks that everything happens to her and life sucks and everything is always so negative. So she already works at a company she doesn't like, and then she breaks her ankle. Oh my god, that's such a victim mode. So she just sits at home, goes into victim mode, doesn't go to the gym anymore. She doesn't do anything with her life anymore. She's just like, oh, it always happens to me, it always happens to me. And because she's always in this lack, scarcity, victim mode, vibration, that's what she's gonna attract. So like, because she's in such a low vibration, that's the thing she's gonna attract. And then her ankle doesn't recover very well, because you know that when you're positive in life, it's been in so many researches in like people that survive cancer or people who have cancer, that when they stay positive in their treatment goes better, or they even like don't have to have treatment because they have such a positive high vibe. And it's the same with when you break your ankle and you're looking at life, like everything happens for a reason, and it's a bad one, it's a negative one, then it's like, it's always me, I always don't have the good luck. It's a story that you tell about your life and about your reality that creates it. So that's the way that Biggie experienced it. It was such a horrible thing in my life and I didn't learn anything from it. I just sat at home and I was just sad and I watched movies all day and everything, when she had the opportunity to do everything that she wanted to while she was sitting at home, but she didn't. That's her reality, and that's that from Tommy. Look at the outcomes from it. It's such horrible things that happen in our life, and it's our power, it's our responsibility to make it something that benefits us, even though it sucks so fucking hard. And honestly, guys, I've been there. Don't go to victim mode. Go to be like, okay, this happens, I'm a creative, my reality, how am I wanting to shift this? How am I going to shift this into something positive, even though it has such a negative outlook right now? And that doesn't mean you don't get to feel like negative emotions, because again, everything is neutral, like anger, happiness, it's all like a neutral emotion. It's just energy that you need to release. It's like, what kind of energy do you want to hold within yourself? It's not that you cannot feel it. It's not when someone dies and be like, but it's a positive thing that the person dies, because then you get to learn how to deal with your grief. No. I'm not saying that there's no room for you to have the emotions and be human. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that if you're looking at life from this way, that If you start looking at life, everything happens to me for a positive reason, and you will find the positive reason behind anything. Then you will love it when it rains, even though you used to don't like rain. I used to don't like rain, and I'm looking outside, I'm like, I'm so happy that the plants are getting water. I'm so happy that it still rains, because climate change is a bitch. And sometimes, maybe I'm living in the Netherlands and don't think there will never be rain here ever again, but there's a chance, and then nature won't survive, and that's why I'm thriving. I'm happy when it's raining. It's also cleansing for my aura. It's all these different kinds of stuff, and that's what I'm trying to say, that with the ripple effect, like one small action, one small thought, one small thing, me throwing my hands up in the air right now, me making this video can be such a little splash into the water, and it ripples through. It ripples through. That's why when you do something and you do something new, don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna make this big splash and then reality change, because that's possible. Of course that's possible, like the most littlest of decisions. But then be more conscious about the decisions that you're making. Be conscious about the stuff that you're doing. You're making the ripple effect right now. Right now is the present moment. Right now is when you make that ripple effect. When you step into that high vibe energy, that's when you get to decide how your reality is going to look like. So I hope that I was clear. I really do. I was just too excited about like this whole video to make, and I'm really excited to make more videos again. I just really wasn't in the space, and I really want to make authentic stuff. I don't want to sit here and bullshit you guys and be like, I'm just gonna make this video and just wanted to do this so I feel good about myself. No, I want to make videos to inspire people the way that other people inspire me through their videos. So that's why I'm bringing this high energy. I'm wishing you so much love and blessings. Know that you're the creator of your own reality, and reality is an illusion anyway, so everything is neutral. You get to decide what kind of meaning you give to it, and with every conscious decision that you're making a new parallel universe, a new reality, wherein there's a different kind of you, there's a different kind of outcome. Circumstances don't matter. Reality is an illusion. Time is an illusion. Much love to you guys, and see you next time.